A lot to go over in today's show. We got some visits for the 30 visits. We're going to talk about those players. That's a big sign towards the NFL draft and who they're going to select. We're going to talk about that. Mock draft roundup. What are the legacy media thinking of the Lions? There is a trend. The trend continues. Aidan Hutchinson discussion. We're going to get into that. Terrible dumb trade rumor number one. We're going to talk about the dumb trade rumor. And then we're going to get into the dumb trade rumor number two in regards to current players that the media thinks that the Lions may trade away. Before we get into today's video, smash that like button. If you want the Lions to sweep the North, hey, those likes will be up there. Let's get it started right now. We're going to go ahead and start off with Aidan Hutchinson. Now, article came out by Christian Boer that I 100% agree. Well, it's talking about the Lions should be extending Aidan Hutchinson. It says, the Lions may be forced to pay up big for Hutchinson due to the value placed on defensive end positions. Prior to suffering a season-ending leg injury, he was on pace to break the NFL's season sack record and played at a Defensive Player of the Year level. If you lived under a rock, you don't know, well, they paid Myles Garrett, they paid Max Crosby, and there's another guy left here, and that's Mr. Aidan Hutchinson, and sooner the better to get him under contract and contract extension. As we know, you look at last year, the longer you wait, the longer that the price tag goes up. We're already down by 2. Now, I know that it's a little bit early, but you got to think about 2 next year, and the price is consistently going up. So if the Lions were to lock down Aidan Hutchinson quicker, it's going to save them in the long run, in theory. And I'm all for it. I would love Aidan Hutchinson to be extended. Why is that? He's going to be on this team anyways. Let's get rid of the headache right now, save some money. We love Hutch here in Detroit. So should the Lions extend Aidan Hutchinson before the regular season? I want you to comment with this one. I think this is an important discussion. Let's get into 30 visits here. The 2025 NFL Draft is less than a month away, and the process picked up big time. Pro days are about to wrap up, and more top 30 visits are coming in. Here, we'll keep track of every single meeting Lions have had, and we'll see these things tell us at the end of the process. What we already know, but the Lions definitely care about these meetings and tend to draft the guys who meet with them. It's facts. They do draft. They tend to draft the folks that they meet up with the 30 visits. We hear about teams that want to take and do swerve and curveballs. They're not doing that. They bring in folks that they actually like. So who are the first 4 players that the Lions have met with now with their 30 visits? You got Chaz, Chambliss. He is the linebacker from Georgia. And you're going to notice that there's different positions here, and that's perfectly fine. Lan Larison, running back. We're going to do a profile, talk about him, because he's someone that we haven't spoke about before. Zabel. The Lions have met up with him. We've spoke about him many times. And Josaiah Stewart. Yes, these are 100% targets. Zabel is a target at pick 28. Josaiah Stewart is a target probably in the second round, or if a trade back scenario, 110%. Let's go ahead and talk about Lan Larison, because you're surprised that a running back would be on here, and you probably have no idea who he is. Why is that? Because a lot of people don't. 6 foot, 215 pounds, from UC Davis, running back, senior this year. Yeah, it's a smaller school. But what has Lan done so far this year? He had 284 carries for 1,465 yards, 17 touchdowns, an average of 5.2. The Lions could use him on special teams. This is not going to be a draft pick that's going to be anywhere near the beginning rounds of the draft, and that is perfectly okay. Why is that? Because 30 visits are required for all rounds, including free agent pickups, rookie free agent pickups. So that's something that you keep an eye on. Just because they're not the biggest names in the world doesn't mean that their Lions are not interested in them, right? But I look at this list, and I do believe that Zabel and Josaiah Stewart are a legit target. Now, this is just 4 of the initial 30 visits, so we're going to have more. But understand that the Lions have 7 draft picks, and and probably 4 of them will go from their 30 visits. So this is not a smokescreen. This is legit. This is how they do their thing. Now, there's more visits as well. They have the combine visits, and this is the individuals that they have met at the NFL Combine. So you have Sai'Vion Jones, Mike Green, who I really like, and I want the Lions to draft him. Jack Sawyer, another individual, obviously, the Lions have a ton of ties to. Nic Scourton. Now, he could be there at 28. It's gonna be around that area with a couple picks up or down, right? He's going to be right there. Pooh Paul, linebacker. Jalen McLeod, linebacker. Cody Lindenberg, linebacker. Kobe King. You say, why are they doing these linebackers? Even with Chaz, 30 visits, we got linebackers. Yep, but we do need depth in special teams. You got to understand that. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go out there and get a linebacker right at the first pick. You got Jihad Campbell. I don't think that the Lions going to draft him now with the 28th pick. Just keep an FYI on that. Why? Derek Barnes contract. Colin Oliver, edge. Yeah, you're going to see all the edges there. Harlan Cross, Kenneth Grant from Michigan, safety, Jonas Sanker, Andrew Makuba, and Thomas Fidone, tight end. Yes, they may get a tight end in the draft, and that could be a later round, so don't freak out right there. Like the video, folks, if you want the Detroit Lions to sweep the NFC North. When you like it, I'm telling you, it actually does work. It's a part of it. Let's continue on with the combine visits here. So Jackson Hayes, C.J. Dupree. Now, again, the Lions, I do believe, will draft a tight end. I've been saying this for a while. It'd probably be the end of the draft, 7th-round pick, FYI. But it's a position that they could do at the end of it. Now, cornerback, Fortune, Kobe Bryant, a ton of corners right here. I don't think they're going to draft a corner in this year's draft, or if they do, maybe it's a cornerback that can play safety or something of that nature. I do believe that the Lions have enough corners on the roster right now, or take a flyer at the end of the round or a free agent, just because we have a lot of corners now on the roster due to free agency. Pat Bryant, Illinois, wide receiver, 110%. You're going to see him in mock drafts. Lions are going to target a wide receiver. Pat Bryant is probably one of the individuals I actually do target. So keep an eye on him at wide receiver. He is one of the individuals I talked about as there's about 3 or 4 prospects that I have the Lions drafting. He's going to be one of those individuals. So keep that in eye. He will be in my final mock draft. Bruce McKay, Jonah Savinia, Eli Cox, Donovan Jackson. Yes, Donovan Jackson's in there as well. Offensive line at 28 is a real deal. And Charles Grant from William and Mary. Developmental prospects for this. Let's get into a really, really dumb rumor that is coming out right now that I'm going to dispel right now. Because it's actually on Detroit Lions on SI from Emmett Matkoskvi, talking about 2 surprise Lions trade candidates that could net valuable assets. This will probably go down as one of the most clickbaity articles that I've read this offseason that I don't believe there's any sort of facts into it at all. So that's why I'm making this video on it, and I put it as a dumb trade rumor. First individual that they said is a trade candidate is Amik Robertson, the player that we literally picked up in free agency last year, who was a dog for us, who picked up the slack when Carlton Davis went down, played well man-to-man, specifically versus the Minnesota Vikings against Justin Jefferson. And Lions are not trading Amik Robertson, folks. I don't even know why this type of stuff comes up. It doesn't make an ounce of sense. Yes, we've picked up some depth players in the corner position in free agency and DJ Reed. And you need to have the depth there. You got DJ Reed, you have Terrion Arnold and Amik Robertson. That's going to be your 1, 2, 3. Yes, Ennis Rakestraw is on the roster. Maybe he's not ready yet, or they're just wanting to have depth. Yes, we picked up Rock Ya-Sin. Again, that's depth. It's nothing major. I do not believe that the Detroit Lions are going to trade Amik Robertson. I give this a 0.0000001% chance of occurring. And that is my thought process on this one. It's 100%. I don't believe that's going to be the case. What do you guys think? Should the Lions trade Amik Robertson? T for trade, P for pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The next player that will not be traded, that is on this list, literally is the heart and soul of this defense. Alex Anzalone. They have him as a trade candidate. This is literally, of all the individuals you're going to trade the captain of this. I mean, he is literally, feels like Captain America or Thor or something on the defense, right? He brings all the energy. Like, this guy is the defense with Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes. You know, it's so funny because we got savage with the linebacker injury last year, and they want to even think of this idea of trading away our number one linebacker on the team when we're heading into a Super Bowl time frame, where the Lions right now are near a Super Bowl. And you're telling me that they're going to trade two studs on this team? It's not happening, folks. This is an article that is thrown out there because there is nothing else to talk about. It's clickbait time. That's what this article is. Do not believe that we're going to trade Alex Anzalone and Amik Robertson. I already know. I'm going to see as soon as this came up, I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to get flooded in hit with trade rumors of these two. They're not going to get traded. They're going to be on this football team. We are entering a period where we're one of the best teams in football. We've been in this period, and we're not going to give it up. Right, that would be the dumbest decision to possibly make that they're not going to do. I give this one a 0.0000001% chance of occurring. I think I have better odds winning the lottery while I'm recording this in the time past than that happening. Folks, let me know your thoughts in the comments with the latest news and rumors. Adios.